We're jumping right into a serious public health crisis that's happening in Delhi as we speak. The city is choking, absolutely choking, under a thick blanket of toxic smog. So let's break down what's going on, why it's happening, and maybe most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself.
Okay, this is the number that says it all right now. 400. All across Delhi, the Air Quality Index, or the AQI, has shot past this mark. That puts the entire region squarely in the severe category. And just to be crystal clear, this isn't just, bad air. This is a public health emergency.
And this isn't just some abstract number on a chart. This quote from the Economic Times really hits home what it feels like for millions of people. We're talking burning eyes, finding it hard to breathe, and a haze so thick it's actually dimming the sun.
So that brings us to our first point here. The situation is so bad that Delhi has pretty much entered a red zone. It's a state of red alert where the very air you breathe is a direct threat to your health.
So what does severe actually mean when we talk about the AQI? Well, it's the highest level of alert. It means the air quality is officially hazardous, and being exposed to it for too long can have really serious health effects, not just for people who are already vulnerable, but for absolutely everyone. And look, this is not just one bad spot in the city. These numbers show it's everywhere. Wazirpur is hovering around 420, Barari at 418, Vivek Vihar at 411, and some areas are even spiking past 450. This is a crisis that has engulfed the entire city. So that leads to the really big question, why? Why is this happening? Well, it's not just one thing. It's more like a perfect storm of conditions, a truly toxic cocktail of pollutants that are now trapped over the whole region. Let's break down what's in that cocktail. Okay, so what exactly is mixing together to create this dangerous smog? The answer really is a combination of the weather, things happening in the region, and of course, the pollution right here in the city. Here are the three main culprits. First, the weather is getting colder, and that means the wind speed has dropped. The air is just sitting there, stagnant, and it acts like a giant lid, trapping all the pollution. Second, you have the smoke from crop stubble burning in neighboring states like Punjab and Haryana. That smoke just drifts right over Delhi. It's this ongoing issue, tied to farming schedules and the pressure to clear fields fast. And third, you just add in the city's own daily pollution from cars, factories, and construction dust, and it all gets trapped together in this deadly mix. So the key thing to understand is this. The pollution isn't just being made, it's being trapped. It's like there's this huge invisible dome over the entire region, and it's preventing any of this toxic air from blowing away. That's really what's happening. All right, so that's where we are right now. But what about the next few days? Let's take a look at the forecast, because unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's any quick relief on the way. The forecasts are pretty clear on this one. The air quality is expected to stay in that severe to very poor range for the next few days. The same conditions that got us into this mess are sticking around, which means those trapped pollutants, they aren't going anywhere fast. Meteorologists think the AQI will probably stay in this dangerous 350 to 450 range. And here's the really serious warning. If it gets even colder and the winds die down more, the AQI could shoot past 500, which pushes us even deeper into hazardous territory. And it's also clear this isn't just a Delhi problem. If you look at the surrounding national capital region, the NCR, you see Noida with an AQI around 350 and Gurugram near 320. Now they're a bit lower, but those levels are still classified as very poor. The entire region is really struggling to breathe right now. Since things aren't expected to get better right away, the focus really has to shift to personal safety. So in this last part, we're going to go over the most important, practical steps you can take to protect yourself and your family. All right, here's your 4-step safety plan. First, and this is the big one, just avoid being outside as much as you can, especially any kind of heavy exercise. Second, if you absolutely have to go out, wear a certified N95 or FFP2 mask. A simple cloth mask just isn't going to cut it. Third, keep your windows and doors sealed up tight, especially in the early morning and late at night when the smog is usually the worst. And finally, do what you can to purify the air inside your home. Now, if you have an air purifier, you should be running it constantly. But if you don't, there are still some simple things you can do. Bringing in some air purifying plants like a money plant, a spider plant, or aloe vera can actually help filter out some of those pollutants and improve your indoor air. And this is a really critical warning. For anyone who has a pre-existing respiratory issue like asthma, or for kids and the elderly, this air is especially dangerous. So please, be extra, extra careful. Stay inside, and it's a really good idea to check in with a doctor to figure out how to best manage your health through this period.
So we've looked at how severe this is, what's causing it, and the immediate plan to stay safe. But as we wrap this up, the bigger question just hangs there, right? This isn't a surprise anymore. It's become an annual, predictable crisis. And that forces us all to ask, what are the fundamental, long-term changes in policy, in technology, and in cooperation across the region that we need to actually break this toxic cycle and make sure our cities can finally breathe again?